Welcome back, everyone, to the Binding of Isaac Fiend Folio series on the channel. Today is going to be challenge number 4, Handle with Care. Now, unlike the previous challenges, I did try to play a run of this yesterday. It did not go very well. I guess the main gimmick of this one is it changes the way you play in a way that I'm not like super comfortable with yet, so it's going to be a big adjustment here. But regardless of all of that, your question for today is going to be, put your answer in the comments down below. Seed, by the way, is going to be XVQKBGHA. What is the most disappointing movie or TV show you have ever seen, and why? So off the bat, you'll notice we do have 0 HP, and our stats are pretty average. Actually, they're quite good stats for beginning. The main gimmick of this challenge is if you walk into a pit or you touch a wall or you touch a rock, even just barely, it gives you a broken heart. You get 12 broken hearts, you lose the challenge. We are only going to Mom's foot, but not touching any walls or any rocks for 6 floors or getting hit, by the way, at all, it's a little bit daunting. And even walking into a door will occasionally get you hurt because you touch the wall on the side of the door a little bit too much. So you gotta be extra careful, and as the name suggests, handle with care. But what I wanted to talk about today is a show that I recently watched. Before I talk about that show, I want to say a couple things. Number one, hold on, I don't go in the shop. Number one, I released a new video on the main channel. Oh no. Yeah, this is cool. A new main channel video focusing on the biggest time save in speedrunning history. You should go watch it. It's a very epic video. It's only 12 minutes long, so it's not going to take you very long either, I guess. I've made an error. Oh, I'm so good at this video game, though. But the second thing is, I don't hate Marvel, all right? I got to preface this strongly. I don't hate Marvel. I actually quite enjoy a lot of the older Marvel stuff. Summons a charmed Fiend Folio beast. It doesn't heal me. That sucks major balls. Go into this room. I like Marvel. I think that, well, that's a strong word to use right there, because I like older Marvel. Iron Man 1, Captain America 1, and The Winter Soldier. 3 fantastic movies. Hell, man, like, I even enjoyed Doctor Strange 2 a little bit, because it had some very nice directing. But in general, I'm not a huge Marvel fan, yes. We can all agree upon that. I'm not the biggest supporter of Marvel. I even like the Avengers 1 was actually also pretty good, but ever since like Winter Soldier, it hasn't been the same for me, and I've really disliked mostly every single thing I've watched from them. Infinity War was okay, Endgame was big bad, and everything since then as well has been pretty big bad. But one thing I've always enjoyed about Marvel has been the Netflix TV shows, specifically 2 of them, Daredevil and Jessica Jones, which are fantastic shows. I think walking in there will give us a broken heart. So I'm not gonna do that. Okay, it makes you play like super tight. Like, how do you dodge stuff in this room like that? I'm just bad at the game, I guess. I like Daredevil a lot. I think Daredevil is the best superhero TV show ever to be made. And I think Jessica Jones Season 1 is a very close second. It obviously beats anything DC's put out TV-wise ever. But, ooh, is that horse paste? I think this heals a broken heart. It does heal a broken heart. That's really big. I can't see where my character is, please. But they're fantastic shows, and I really like them. However, I can't say the same for the Disney Plus division of Marvel shows. I've watched every single Disney Plus Marvel show except for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I got about 3 parts into that one, and I dropped it because it was extremely boring and nothing was happening. I gotta be careful here. That being said, I did watch through all of Loki. I watched through all of WandaVision. I watched through all of that Hawkeye show. I watched up to the second to last episode of Moon Knight, and I never finished the show because I thought it was awful, so I just didn't want to actually, watch the finale of it. But they're generally just okay. Like, I think the deal with, like, a lot of the Marvel shows on Disney Plus is that they'll spend, like, the first 3/4 of their season just fucking around, making jokes and doing nothing. And the last, like, quarter of it is stuffing in a bunch of exposition and like making the plot actually progress. Not a lot goes on in the first little bit of a Marvel show. The same thing's like for the movies as well. Like not a lot goes on in the beginning of those movies. Everything kind of happens like at the climax and that's it. Otherwise, there's a bunch of stuff you can probably skip over, to be honest with you. But the new show came out, right? She-Hulk. And I didn't think... I kind of had high hopes for it, because the Hulk as a character, I like the Hulk. The MCU Hulk is treated terribly. I was looking at this show to kind of give us a rectification of Bruce Banner, but also introduce Jennifer Walters and make her a new mainstay figure in the MCU, because I like the Hulk characters a lot. The show was not marketed to be a comedy, but it's supposed to be. However, comedies are supposed to be funny, and this show, I would argue, is far from that. Everybody hates like the Marvel humor, Like, I think everybody is pretty much against that. What is this? Don't touch the wall. Multicolored tears? Yeah, dude, whatever. We can take one deal every devil deal, I'm pretty sure. And get a tears up here as well. Don't touch the wall, you fool. We have a lot of good stats going on right now, though. I'm pretty happy with this run so far. I forgot the item room. Give me Mercurius as a reward for forgetting that. You never know. I'm going to walk in here. Yo, that's not bad at all, actually. Having better speed could be dangerous, but it also could be very helpful. You know how everybody hates the Marvel humor? Like, he's right behind me, isn't me? I saw it a lot better in my head. Like, those kind of, like, millennial quips, right? Imagine a show where it's marketed to be a comedy, and that's the comedy style of the entire show. Now, here's a couple of pros for She-Hulk before I start getting into the big negatives here. 20-minute episodes. Very easy to pick up and watch, once a week and not feel too offended by it. Just kind of be like, yep, that was, if it was 40 minutes long of what was going on in the show, it would be atrociously bad. I think they knew that they couldn't go for longer than 20 and keep an audience's retention past that point. Can you, just jump down here, please? Thank you. I love you for that. Thank you so much. But 20 minutes is a good episode length. It makes it feel less serious and helps the comedy aspect of the show feel more, I guess, I got a text and I walked against a wall. I'm getting can you stop texting me? What's going on the ground, dude? The phones are a cancer to me right now. I'm going to become the Unabomber and go to a cabin in the woods, I think, honestly. But it helps you feel like it's not too overbearing of comedy. Like, it's just the right amount of time where it's like, I can stomach this. But even, like, there are cases where that 20 minutes is still too long, where I'm like, how are they getting any development out of this storyline in this amount of time? Now, we're going to start off with, I think, the catalyst of me knowing the show was going to be dog shit, and it happens within the first 2 minutes of the show opening up. That got me. My man's got me there. So, I'm going to set the stage for you guys right now. And if you enjoyed the show, by the way, more power to you. I'm not, the #1 film critic ever. I'm just a guy playing video games. So don't take my word as, like, law. But the show opens up at a close-up of the main character's face, and it pans out while she's reading some kind of, like, defense plea for one of her clients. And as it pans out, you realize she's in just a regular office doing a practice reading with 2 coworkers there, one of them being her best friend. She finishes her reading and she asks, "How did I do?" The friend says good and the coworker says it was pretty bad. But they go to do their case in the courtroom. Oh my god, I had nowhere to go there, dude. They go to do their court reading anyways. We can't take this, but thanks, I guess. I kind of just wanted to have the planetarium chance up in case we do get a chance to see one next floor. But the faster you go, the better. Now, they start going to they walk out, they're going to their court case, and then She-Hulk pauses in the door. And she turns around and she looks at it, like, directly at the camera and goes, "You probably don't want to watch this show without knowing how I got my powers in the first place, right? Well, I'll tell you." And it flashes back to, like, when she was on vacation with her cousin, who was also the Hulk. Now, first watching this, I thought to myself, they really couldn't think of, like, a better device to show a backstory than doing a fourth wall break, which is, like, the cheapest way to do anything in media ever. Nobody likes fourth wall breaks. They're cheap, they're annoying, they're gimmicky, and they're extremely annoying. And I kind of think, like, wow, this just shows how lazy the writers were. And there was this statement one of the writers said about a month before the show came out, where they were like, yeah, the show was going to originally be a rousing multi-episode trial for the Abomination, which was the villain of the first Hulk movie. And they said, and this is their words, not mine, but we weren't confident enough to write a rousing court scene. It's too hard for us. The people are getting paid to write your TV show, right? The people being paid to write these shows for you said writing a court case was too hard. Directly after one of the greatest TV shows, lawyer shows, just TV shows in general, Better Call Saul, had just ended with a very rousing court case that lasted just, oh my god, I hate this challenge, just like a quarter of an episode. So I was going into the show with the notion that it wasn't going to be written very well, and I was okay with that. I was like, you know what? Most Marvel movies are written like pretty shit, and I've managed to get through a lot of them. It's not going to be that bad. Then they fourth wall break for exposition, and I was like, oh god, they're going like Deadpool mode. It's going to be really, really bad, right? And her whole entire origin story for like She-Hulk getting the Hulk powers is that Hulk's blood got inside of her, and now she has Hulk powers. But instead of, you know, like, and Hulk says this in the show, he trained for 15 years to control when he changes and his powers, and being like at ease with his Hulk side and his human side. Hey, wait, look, it panned out, guys. Look at that. Immediately in her third transformation, oh, it's so good. She-Hulk can already control all of her powers and can like maintain consciousness inside the form. And the reasoning the show gives, and I'm gonna just say it and let it simmer for a while in this episode, is that because She-Hulk is a lady, she controls her anger every day. So she can already control her Hulk form. Then she lectures Bruce about how her being a woman has put her through a lot more than he has. Now, there isn't a lot wrong with that statement, because there is a conversation to be had, and it should be had, about like that gender disparity. But you're gonna lecture the dude who's your cousin, who you know within his MCU origin that his dad abused him, and his dad abused his mom and hit him, and I believe also Hulk killed his dad. You're gonna tell the dude who's gone through this much trauma that because you're a woman, you go through more than he has in his life, and that you can control your anger because you've been through more and you've dealt with more than he has. The guy who's been literally abused by his family, who I'm guessing you know because you are his cousin. Can I just, like, my controller drift is making this impossible to play. This is ridiculous. I drift. Look, I'm not holding the controller. It'll start going up, I swear to you. This is so hard to do. You're telling the guy, you're lecturing the guy about trauma to the guy who had to fucking kill his dad or some shit. How tone deaf is that? Like, if you're gonna be giving a positive message about, like, being a woman in not just America, but the entire world, why would you use the dude who's been through a whole lot when it comes to, you know, his own trauma to tell that? That's a really shitty way to do that whole storyline. Like, it felt so cheap, and it felt very forced, I think, was the issue as well, where it was like, they're not doing this to, you know, power to to women. They're doing it because they wanted to be posted on Twitter over and over for free marketing. The shot is written to be screenshotted with subtitles and posted on Twitter. They wrote that shot directly, or that scene directly like that, yo. I'm gonna actually pair throw this. Reason being is, we don't get black hearts. We don't need damage. We're only going to mom. And also, it's not worth it, man. Like, if we get a bad trip pill, we can't pop it. I don't want to lose another one of our permanent broken hearts, or semi-permanent. Like, I'm drifting up right there. Semi-permanent broken hearts, but it's just not worth it in my eyes. We got to go a little bit slower, a little bit more careful here. Not drifting anymore, though. Hallelujah. But why would that be your device for doing it? And the running theme in the show is that it's very, like, empowering. You know, in the smallest way that an MCU show about a lady who becomes a green lady can be empowering, it tries to be empowering, which I'll give it props for that. But it does it in every single wrong way, in what feels like shameless cash grabs. It's not trying to be empowering. What, it's pulling me? It's yanking me. Why are you yanking me? It's not gonna be, like, empowering. I'm just gonna leave. Fuck you. I'm out of here. I'm drifting up. I'm getting pulled everywhere. I don't want to be here anymore. Oh, hey, little spear. I can't even use you, I don't think. Can maybe get a small rock here. Okay, thank you for the spear transformation, and also the Curse of the Maze with Curse of the Lost. I Really do appreciate that, video game. Can I maybe just, like, buy a good familiar here? I wouldn't say that that's bad. It would be part conjoined for us. Are we conjoined? We're not yet. We're getting there, though. You do sell babies still. If I can afford that, I'll come back for you, I guess. But it does it in a cash grabby way, where it's like, we don't want to pay for marketing for our show, so we're gonna make these scenes the ideal setup for showing that, like, women powerful, so that people post it on Twitter and then people will watch our show because they're seeing it everywhere. Which, by the way, it didn't work because literally nobody is watching She-Hulk, and there is good reason for that. I only watch the MCU shows on Disney Plus to keep up with, like, the current age of what's going on, because if you don't watch these TV shows, man, you're gonna have no idea what the fuck is going on in any of the movies. I mean, they're doing a whole, like, Kang the Conqueror storyline next, and they already introduced Kang in the finale of Loki, which there was practically no build-up towards, which Loki is its own issue. I actually quite enjoyed Loki's TV show. If you don't think about too much going on the show and, like, how it affects the overall universe, it's pretty good. But the show basically says that I didn't beat this room. Oh, no. I'm getting yanked again. Yep, that's cool. All right, well, we're dead. I mean, what do you even do in that situation? I was too slow. I can't touch any rocks to hide behind. Well, I'm going to cut to this floor of the next try at this challenge. Here we go. So here's a fun scenario. I actually cannot grab that item because touching that block right there, I will take damage doing. So all we could do in this room, funnily enough, is grab the D6 and get the hell out of here and save this for our devil deal, which may be better for us anyways. But before I cut back to Depths 1, I want to also say in regards to She-Hulk's tangent is that she claims that she can control her anger better than Bruce because she has to control being catcalled in the street or whatever, when the previous scene of her not being with Hulk, she was catcalled and then was so mad she became the Hulk. So I don't know about that controlling your anger thing being legitimate. Kind of just sounds like what's... Oh my god, dude. Once again, like, I'm not touching the wall, man. Like, terrible, god-awful writing. But we'll see what our first devil item is here, then we'll cut back to Depths 1. Dude, with controller drift, this challenge is a nightmare. And by the way, I have tried to fix it. I get a bunch of comments like, just go into Steam and change your dead zones. I've done that several times. But the further out your dead zones go, the harder any game comes to play. I'd rather have slight drift than have, like, red areas that are 20 centimeters wide that I can barely walk in any game ever. It's a price I gotta pay for having a shit controller. Alright, goodbye, sir. Thanks for flying away like that. Ooh. We probably want to take Maw of the Void here over anything else. Maw is going to be a real nice, helpful tool to have. We can do this. Beautiful. Well, here's to us not dying, and we'll pop Dice Shard here. Oh, great, dude. We got more HP we can't do anything with. That's epic. All right, down we go. Why is this my Gertie arena, of all things? Getting me the one tile wide hallway to walk through? This is torture. This challenge is absolute torture. I know the Gauntlet and Dad's Home Plus are both also ridiculously hard, but I'm trying to correct my drift and I walk into a wall. I'm just getting so upset about that. Like, I can't control this. It's out of my control. I'm sure the challenge itself is not that bad when you have a working controller. I know I'm like, oh, blame the controller, BD1P. A poor craftsman blames his tools. With my tools, my hammer specifically, I'm going to hit you on the head with that if you say that in the comments. Oh, no. Like, this room, too, like, it's just... Everything here is out to get me, it feels like. Oh, well. I can't always win them all, right? Oh, great. This is just what I wanted to see, was a room that's full of rocks. That's all I've ever wanted from this game, is more rock-filled rooms. Oh, I'm dead. I'm dead, again. There's no way I win this challenge. Not with this build. I mean, Maw of the Void's good, but, like, I don't think with controller drift that I can beat this. I think it's gonna be, like, genuinely pretty impossible for me. Alright. Well, I'm done with this one. If you enjoyed the video and liked my content, subscribe, I guess. See you next time. Peace out.